Hello viewers and welcome with Franky and Coen's Ukraine Inside Season 2, Episode 2. Today, a lot of news facts. Of course, we speak to Alonia Kramova in the front area from the Donbass. Of course, we talk to Rick, the Ukraine. We have Guido van Engelen here in the studio live. And also live with us from the Ukraine, all the way from the Ukraine, Franky van Hintem. And thank God, next to me, the one and only Mr. Coen van Oosten.
And of course, our presenter, Erik Dickham.
Thank you. But first, as you have every week, the news. Yeah. In the news facts, we have a lot to discuss. And the first topic we'd like to discuss with the people here in the studio, and of course with Franky, is a news item about Elon Musk. But let's first take a look, and then we talk about it.
The extent of Elon Musk's power is on full display after revelations that he personally blocked a Ukrainian attack on Russian forces last year. Ukraine's military depends on SpaceX's Starlink, an internet service that sends connectivity down to Earth through a network of satellites. According to an excerpt from Walter Isaacson's upcoming biography of Musk, Ukrainians had requested Starlink access be extended to the Russian-occupied Crimean Peninsula. Their plan, according to Musk, was to, quote, sink most of the Russian fleet at anchor. He refused to comply, saying SpaceX would otherwise be complicit in a major act of war.
He believed that doing so could prompt a response by Russia that was akin to a, quote, mini Pearl Harbor.
Ukraine shot back, saying his refusal meant Russian ships could continue firing cruise missiles at Ukrainian cities. This is the price of a cocktail of ignorance and big ego, they said. Regardless, what is abundantly clear is that a single mercurial civilian wields a never-before-seen level of power over geopolitics and human lives.
Yeah, short response. I would like to start with Franky, all the way from the Ukraine. What's your response on this news, Franky?
Well, we've been talking about it already a little bit before the show, honestly, also with Guido. And it's actually not so that he put off the system. Elon Musk just didn't want to open the system. And he had a lot of good reasons for it. And Guido had some good points. Guido, so... What do you think?
Ukrainians still believe that he switched it off, and then he's really interfering and stopping the Ukrainians and helping the Russians. The big difference is putting on or off. So that's a big difference in there. As company, I can understand you don't want to be involved in an attack, but do you want to stop an attack? Because you believe that you prevent a World War III. Who is he?
But they asked Elon Musk if he wanted to open the system from Starlink above the Crimea area so that Ukraine could use it by an attack. And Elon Musk said, well, I will not do that. I don't want to be the cause of maybe a third world war or about for a nuclear war. I'm afraid to do it, so he didn't want to do it. That's indeed something different. I can understand it partly.
Yeah, can it also be the pressure from Putin about Starlink? To put it on, off.
Yeah, maybe. Of course, it's a big thing to open it and to be interfering in the war. I would be nervous to do something big like that. A lot of people are going to be angry with me, and also it might have been a new phase in the war, but from the other side, it is a big disadvantage for Ukraine because they had big plans, as we've heard, and they could not fulfill it.
Yeah. But of course, there were many other things in the news last week. So something completely different last Saturday. This.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, this was last Saturday. We celebrate the 245th birthday of the city. And Franky, you have to help me here. How do you pronounce this city? Avdiivka.
Avdiivka.
And Koen knows it very well too, because we have been to this city. It's completely bombed. There's almost not one building still complete. And this street, actually, what we just saw, we have been walking that street. And what is unique, Avdiivka is just maybe 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers from the nearest Russians, near the Donetsk. And it was a unique situation because the flag was put up and it blew in direction of Donetsk. Koen, we have been walking there.
Yeah, we walked there. It was a lot of emotions what we see there in that city, and the people that live there have respect that they are still there because they are bombed every day still. And that the flag goes that way. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, the wind was quite in the right direction, eh?
I will. What a Russian react if you see a flag like that big coming to you, and it has to be impressive.
Even more important, what did the Ukrainian people who still live in Donetsk, who have been in the occupied place, they see their flag coming over. And it was very risky to do this because it's in artillery distance. So it was very dangerous to do this work and to put the flag and everything because they were in reach of artillery. So it was very risky. But I think for the Ukrainian people in Donetsk, it must have been a really great feeling to see this flag passing by. We will ask Aljona a little bit later.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, we saw her also in the video. Eh? Aljona made this video. Aljona. Do I say it wrong? Oh, I'm sorry, Aljona. I make it up to you, for sure. But this was a very nice way of selling or celebrate the birthday of this city. Was also very nice, maybe to take a look at, is this video or this little topic of this Russian pilot.
Я связался с представителем разведки, объяснил ему ситуацию свою, на что мне предложили такой вариант, что давай, мы гарантируем тебе безопасность, гарантируем тебе новые документы, там, гарантируем тебе денежную компенсацию, вознаграждение. То есть обговорили все вот эти детали и начали планировать уже непосредственно мой перелет.
Давайте так, ноги, грузимо каталку, бігом, всього забирай. Давайте бігом забираємо, евакуація, по периметру стали, відійшли на ту сторону.
Я понял, что я нахожусь рядом с границей, то есть я передал свое местонахождение, сказал, что давайте попробуем, я вот здесь как бы нахожусь недалеко. И уже окончательно принял решение, перелетел на предельно малой высоте в режиме радиомолчания. В принципе, меня вообще никто не знал, что со мной уже, наверное, дня 3-4, никто не понимал вообще, что произошло. Перелетел, все успешно, приземлился, меня встретили, со мной поговорили, как бы все объяснили, что к чему. Здесь нет никаких фашистов, нацистов, мне очень обидно за то, что сейчас происходит. Убийство, слезы, кровь. Просто друг друга люди убивают. Вот и все. Это вот единственное, о чем я понимал. Единственное, чего я просто не хотел. То, что сейчас происходит, это просто геноцид украинского народа. Так, как украинского, так и российского.
Yeah. What did we look at, Koen? What did we see in this?
In this video, we see a pilot, a Russian pilot, flew to Ukraine country and landed there and surrendered himself. The two other guys, I hear they are shot.
Oh
yeah. And he get a prize to bring a helicopter to Ukraine.
Yeah, because I thought, Franky, you know maybe more about this. You think it's all a deal with this pilot? They made a deal.
That also was in the news. It was a deal. So up front, he already took care of his family, that his family could go safely to Ukraine. And he flew to Ukraine with the helicopter, but it was all pre-arranged. And he even got $500,000 reward, which I think is very clever. Not only the helicopter is worth more than $500,000, but also for other pilots or other military who think, hey, that's maybe not a bad idea. Let's go to the other side, because I'm sure that a lot of Russian soldiers don't want to fight against the Ukrainian. So, and it was not the first time that something like this happened. It was just the first time that somebody cooperated with the, they gave allowance to talk about it in the media. But I think it's a very clever action, firstly from the Ukraine and secondly from the Russian pilot, because I would not like to fight against the Ukrainians. Firstly, I think it's an unlawful war, and secondly, I could get killed. So I think he did very clever.
Yeah, and he brings also parts from airplanes and helicopters with him also.
Yeah, I think in this case it's a win-win-win situation. Very positive, of course. But, of course, there were also not so positive news like this.
A Russian rocket attack on a busy market at daytime has killed at least 17 people, including a child, in the eastern Ukrainian city of Konstantinivka, said President Zelensky. The strikes in the Donetsk region on Wednesday were at daytime. Many civilians were present. Another 34 people were wounded in the attack. He added that 20 shops, power lines, an administrative building and the 5th floor of a residential building were damaged. A fire destroyed several vehicles and 8 commercial facilities, as you can see on this video, exclusively made by Alyona Gramova. Later on Wednesday evening, the defense minister said that the auto market has been hit by Russian S-300 ballistic missile. Konstantinivka is about 30 kilometers west of Bakhmut, a Russian-occupied city that has mostly been destroyed during a year of intense fighting. President Zelensky said, Russian terrorists have attacked a regular market, shops and a pharmacy, killing innocent people. The number of casualties could rise further, he said. Anyone in the world who is still dealing with anything Russian simply ignores this reality.
Yeah, this is of course horrible to see. Franky, what can you tell us about this this horrible situation?
It's more than horrible. So many people got killed there by this attack. And actually there was a video made by Alyona Gramova, who will be in a few minutes in the show. Maybe she can tell more about it, but it's horrible. And to me, I get the shivers again, because we've been in a rocket attack, and there's some things that you see there what gives a really, really very unpleasant feeling, not only because it's very bad what happened there, but also because it gives some remembrance back. But it's terrible. It's absolutely a market where we're just civilians. There's no doubt about it. This is like in the restaurant, there were almost no soldiers, but this was an open market for everybody. People buying food and groceries and all kinds of things like that. Unbelievable. Yes. Unbelievable.
And some older people, they're just on the road with their milk or little plants to sell something, and in that kind of the places they do that a lot.
Yeah, just normal people who try to live their life. Yeah, that's horrible.
To survive.
Yeah, that brings me to the statement of the week. If we speak about horrible decisions, the statement of the week, and all the people at home can give their opinion in our YouTube channel. And the statement
it is a follow-up from last week.
Yeah, follow-up.
Follow-up of last week.
Maybe you can tell what the statement of the week is, Koen.
The statement of the week is the war children can decide themselves if they want to return to the front lines.
Okay. And then there are a few yes and a few no's. Yes.
It's about children who live, for example, in the Netherlands, who do not have parents, and they are in a very safe environment, and some of them chose to go back to Ukraine. And now is the question, is it a decision what children can make, or should a decision like that be made by adults? So can children go back to Ukraine, which is a country in war, but even more, can they go back to Ukraine in a location which is very near to the front? Are they allowed to make these decisions themselves? And well, there's a lot to say about it, and a little bit later we will discuss it, maybe even a little bit more. But I'm interested what Alyona thinks about it.
Yeah, me too. I hope she's already there, that we can ask her herself. Let's hear what she thinks about it. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You mean the last question about the children? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the statement of the week is, can children decide themselves if they want to go back? Is it allowed? Can we allow them to go if they want it themselves? Or should we say no?
Yes, of course, say no. Actually, it's very difficult. I don't know why kids will go back. About the front line, it's they more and more.
Yeah, yeah. Iona, I have to interrupt. We cannot hear you so well, and of course, we really want to know what you think about it. I first asked the two guys on the table over here, and the technical people will try to get it a little bit better. Maybe I can start with our guest, with Guido. Guido, what's your opinion about our statement of the week? Children can decide themselves.
Basically, I would them like to be able to decide themselves, but it's a difficult question because not even every child can make that decision.
No, but you cannot say one child can decide.
Okay.
Close to the front,
Okay, but
that's a no.
That's a no.
Close to the front is a no. A bit further from the front, an own environment is also important.
So it depends on the area.
It depends very much on the
I
area.
a little bit agree about that. But if you are keeper of the children, do you want to send children back to Ukraine?
I don't think that the keeper of the children here are so much aware about the situation over there.
But,
But there are people from Ukraine. It is not people from Holland. There are people from Ukraine, from the orphanage house before.
What do you think, Franky?
yeah, from the other side, Russians now have Ukrainian people in captivity. And they say, well, we don't send them back to the war. And we don't want to get in discussions like that the Russians say, you see, in the Netherlands, they do the same. They have children there. They are not free to go back to their own country. It's a very difficult question because, firstly, I think that a child 14 years old is not able to make good decisions, maybe on this aspect. But secondly, if you do not let them go back, then they can say, well, you keep children in captivity. You don't let them go. They are free people. And you get the story what now is with Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, is it, maybe I can ask the people of the technique here in the studio. Is it possible to talk to Iona, or do we go to the next video? One moment. Okay, then we maybe can discuss already a few parts with Guido van Engelen. Guido van Engelen is from the Lille, Kiev. This is a foundation doing what?
Help to Ukraine. That's how it is in the statutes. And that's very wide. So it's humanitarian. It's to anything what we will think that helps Ukraine.
Yeah.
That's first of all. And of course, it's not very humanitarian. But for us, it's also, the army also needs support. I had Omroep Max last month to make films, and we were interviewing a lot of old people who suffered a lot.
Yeah.
And they all said to Jan Slachter, you don't have to help us. Make sure that the army is okay. People who suffered a lot themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we don't need. They need, but no, we don't need. Help the army. So it's a combination of everything. And it's about, we get a lot of goods also. A lot of goods go, of course, to humanitarian help.
Yeah.
Do we have a video of the Lille Kiev?
Yeah, it should be.
We sure do.
I haven't seen it myself yet, but it should be.
But when we show this video, Guido, you have to promise that you explain what we see.
I have also to see what I will see.
Yeah. I will ask the director of the show if it's possible to show this. Yeah, there's the video.
Oh yeah, but that's of course close to us. It's Case. That's when they hit the residential building in Oman. Of course, because it's close to Case, we helped there also. We spent goods, paid for funerals, windows, and all that kind of stuff. This Dima died actually already. Bringing cars, generators. We brought a lot of generators. We are now on 1,300 generators to Ukraine. And this actually is in Kiev. That's an exception. This is really in the beginning of the war. Bicycles. Yeah, we had a program of bringing bicycles to Ukraine. He brought 500-600 bicycles. But it's all range of goods. I not even know this video myself. But that's how it goes, you know. It's food, it's a lot of things, just what we gathered. That's our logo.
Yeah,
there we go back.
Well, how did you start? You were living in, you are from the Netherlands originally, and you were living in the Ukraine.
I was living in Ukraine, so I drove away in the Thursday morning. Lucky me, very early, so I got out fast. I didn't have the queues and all that. I started to drive on time, and then it starts on the telephone. While driving back, they had to give me only one penalty for calling on the telephone because it was from Ukraine up to the Netherlands. I was on the phone.
Yeah.
And it starts with people how to get out of Ukraine, all this kind of help. But also the first questions already from we need to help something, we need to do something, and then it starts.
And how did you meet, for example, Franky and Coen? Did you meet over there?
No, we didn't meet over there.
Oh,
actually, we were in Kramatorsk at the same time. I was in Kramatorsk the day before, and I didn't know they were around. Otherwise, I would have looked for them, but I didn't know they were around. Of course, we heard from them. Our guys called them actually that evening that it happened to you. Yeah. I knew that they called already, so I thought I'm not going to.
If we need help to get out or place to stay, our car was damaged, really damaged.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And they offered to help, but we found our own way to fix the window, and we had no problem physically, and also mentally we didn't have problems. So we drive by ourselves back to Holland.
Yeah, Franky, when was the first time you heard about the Lil Kiev?
Actually, I heard about them 100 times. But I heard about them so often that I thought they were just a transport company, because I've heard about they get containers with goods to Ukraine, and again a container, and again a truck, and again a truck. So I heard this very often. So I thought they are like a transport company, and if we need goods to get to Ukraine, we can call them. That's actually what I thought about them first, because they did so much. I didn't think that they did that all by themselves. Indeed, after the rocket in Kramatorsk, in the same evening they called us if we needed help, if they can help us to get the car to Kiev or whatever was needed. So actually that was the first time that we got really contact. But the name, the Lil Kiev, you hear it everywhere. Also Kees, Boer Kees, Farmer Kees, is kind of world famous. With everybody who does something with Ukraine, everybody knows Boer Kees. Also, I've never met him, but they work together, and very famous. Yeah. Yes, and I'm impressed by what they do.
Kees, of course, is a very good ambassador because he got that publicity, of course, and that always helps. You know, you guys also know that you need publicity to be able to do what you do.
Yeah. What would you say, Coen? What is the biggest difference between your work? You do a lot of good work, of course, in the Ukraine. But what is the difference between?
I think the biggest difference is we make food.
Yeah.
To the people straight away, and they give packaging. You hear bicycles, everything what they need and they ask. They try to transport to Ukraine.
We have more or less like 5 lines. First line is like logistics. So what we can get here, what we buy here, to bring it to Ukraine, to bring it as close as possible to the areas where they needed it. Mm-hmm. So not Kiev, not that area, it's just the east, south. Yeah. Then we did like 20,000 filters, water filters.
Yeah, that's very important there.
Yeah, that's very important. But 20,000 is
we were in a small hotel, and they say they have filters, but believe me, they're still dirty.
Yeah, and it's the quantity what makes a difference. Yeah. It's like with generators, we did a lot, but also accus. And so that's what we try to do. And what we get, we do.
What I also think is, I understood the story of the Lil Kiev is very interesting, because it's how I understood all people who live in Ukraine, mainly in Kiev, how I understand, or near Kiev. And these people, they started actually a school for children who wanted to learn Dutch, wanted to keep up the Dutch. So they started a school which was called the Lil. And when the war started, most of those people already were in Ukraine. Like I understand Guido also was in Ukraine, and they had to decide on that moment, will I go away, what shall I do, how shall I react? And they used the organization from the school to, as quickly as possible, start helping. So they were one of the very, very first. I don't know how quickly after the total war started, you did your first goods.
1 week, we were in Kiev.
So that's also a big difference. It's a big, big difference.
Yeah, but it was easy for us because we knew people. People there, actually it was the mayor of Lviv, the second mayor of Lviv, who told, just start to drive, I'll get you in. Because we had no clue what kind of documents to make.
Yes.
And from that on, it went on, of course. And that's, you know people there. We are from there. That helped, especially in the beginning, a lot. Later on, okay, it is nice that
people
you know, and you have this.
I think we now have contact with Iona. And hi, Iona, I hope we can hear you now.
Yes, guys, I can hear you. I don't see you, but I can hear you.
But we see you, and we are really very curious what you wanted to say about this statement of the week. The statement of the week is children should decide themselves if they can go back to the Ukraine or not. What do you think?
I don't know, actually, I know many stories because I'm working here on the front line. Today I remember the Bakhmut, and actually without cameras, without so close standing parents, I always asking, why? Are you not scared? Why you still wanted to stay here? They always said, that's because parents decide to stay here, and that's why we stay here. Yeah. Because this is the children, first of all. Yeah. It's difficult. Maybe if I have some possibility to speak with some guy or some girl and ask why it's bad for you here. Why? It's a problem to learn new language, or what kind of problem do you have? Maybe.
Alona, but the statement was, children they're already in Holland or somewhere in Europe. They can decide by themselves to go back to Ukraine, yes or no? That's the statement. Or
kids have to decide by themselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's not good, actually, guys. Sorry, this is what I'm saying, because it's a kids. Yep. I think the parents or some people who take these kids have to decide, of course.
Okay.
We saw your balloon action in Avdiivka together with some of our friends we saw also on the video. How was that day? Was it not extremely interesting and beautiful to see the balloons going in the direction of Donetsk?
Yes, actually, Franky, I think you remember how many hours we need to get Avdiivka. Yes, it's not easy. We wake up early in the morning, we're driving, and at 6 o'clock we have these balloons almost ready for the show for day of Avdiivka. Of course, it's very dangerous because always flying the drones. And of course, artillery and tanks working, make strikes to Avdiivka, I mean Russians. And it was dangerous, but it was very interesting. And first of all, I wanted to say that nobody don't think that this flag flying to Donetsk, because it's we have to understand it's not wind and wind on this side, but 1 hour later, we see the news from Donetsk that people from Donetsk see this flag. It was exciting. It was really interesting, and that was, I think, the best news to Ukraine on this day.
Yeah, there was a very nice birthday present for this city, of course. But you also made another video. You were in, I'm not sure in which city you were, but
Konstantinovka.
Okay. Shall we watch the video and then you tell us more?
Yes, of course.
M46, like all weapons, is very important today on the front line in the Bakhmut direction. M46 field gun is quite popular in dozens of countries around the world. It is equipped with 130 mm projectiles, effective strike range up to 26 kilometers.
Ми як в щось попадаємо, то відповідно нам хлопці кажуть, там, чи БМП знищено, чи, наприклад, працювали як контрбатарейна боротьба. Так? Тобто вони стріляли, наші хлопці, значить, засікли звідки, ми по ним відпрацьовували, там бувало таке, що і нону знищили, так, міномет. Часто таке буває, так, що якщо ми працюємо, нам потім дають фідбек. Чи там, наприклад, їхня піхота йшла в наступ, ми відкрили вогонь влучний, відповідно, зупинили, кажучи, наступ.
The artillerymen need only a couple of minutes to prepare the 9-ton gun for battle. The objectives for completing the task of this sector of the front do not have to wait long. What do you think about Russians? Are they learning?
Там є такі професіонали, що дуже хороші професіонали. Як не як, типу, у них і техніка хороша, і люди, вони вчаться, ми вчимося, і вони добре вчаться. Є такі, що ти дивуєшся, ніякі, а є, справді професіонали.
Here the entire horizon is always in smoke. Russian troops are more defensive and fire at Ukrainian positions, trying to stop the advance of the defense forces.
Не було такого, щоб там, не знаю, годину десь там тихо, щоб десь щось не цей. Та тяжко, Так само сьогодні, що працювали, там весь край, там сьогодні по наших дуже багато працювали, дивилися. Дуже було багато, якоїсь, взривів і димів.
And like this all the time, boom, boom.
Це ще доволі спокійно.
Despite constant Russian attacks under the cover of artillery, the Ukrainian infantry is achieving success in the Bakhmut direction. According to the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, only over the past week, Ukrainian army liberated about 3 square kilometers of territory in this direction. From Bakhmut district, specially for Franky and Coen.
Iona, how was it to go there?
Oh, first of all, it's not Konstantinovka. This is Bakhmut direction. Of course, artillery working there, and difficult to get there. Very difficult. We have to write letters and asking for press officer, take us please, because it's difficult. First of all, because it's very dangerous. Yes, but
we see that before.
We have to see how working our military. That's why we was there, working, I think, more than 1 hour. And I wanted to say it's not, they working not only in the day, they working all the time. On the day, it's video we're making almost 8 o'clock in the evening. And
it does a very long distance. I did here just 20-something kilometers, 28 kilometers. That's a long distance.
26 kilometers. They're working from this M46, but in this moment they're working somewhere around 15 kilometers. And we speak about Bakhmut. They're working.
I do understand it's Bakhmut. I thought we were referring still to the first video in Konstantinovka, but we will have a little talk about it in a minute or something. But 26 kilometers possibility, well, now we did 15 kilometers, but 26 kilometers possibility, that's a very long distance for artillery.
Yeah, and this is the good weapon, and they like it very much and asking for more. Good weapon, because like they said before, they're working with the mine weapon and or some artillery, and they have to stand it closer to front line. It was difficult, always strikes, always dangerous, right? This weapon, it's more easy to work.
And did you guys hit the target? Did you get a response?
Of course. We hear the target and we see the fire and the smoke. We see it was very close. It's all the time. It's like, they trying to find something, some weapon from take information from drone guys, yes, from drones, and trying to destroy this weapon. And this side, also Russians sent information about this weapon. And one time was a little scare even because it's beginner strikes and guys said, hurry, we have to go. And in this moment, we sit in the car and drive.
And very quickly back to Konstantinivka, the attack on the market square. You have been there. How was it? How did it feel? Because it's extreme.
It was difficult, Franky. You know how many times I'm working here on the front line, and actually it's one of the most difficult moments was in Konstantinovka. I get information from the guys from the rescue, also my friends. They said something very big right now was on this open market. We sit in the cars and think 40 minutes after we was there, everything still firing, working police guys, working rescue guys, and many people we see, many dying people, burning people. It was very difficult. We know this place actually because we were often meet some press officer or some militaries and driving somewhere to the front line. And even one day before, we was very close to this market. This market working from the morning till 3 o'clock in the evening. And difficult because I know that for these people, for civilian people who still live in Konstantinovka, who trying to change the region and maybe find something, some job, they coming back, yes. And when the people difficult to find something, they coming back and they begin to work when they working before. They trying to do something to get some money. And I know on this market was some small people, with the cigarettes, with the milk, like Coen said. Yes, actually it was. It was like this. With the meat, they trying only to get to find some money. And in this moment, 2 o'clock, and the rocket.
Alona, we've been together a similar attack before. How you feel to see that by yourself? Your feelings to see this?
Difficult to see. Like I told you before, I work in here many months and I see many situations and difficult, and of course I see dying people, and but this was some kind, I don't know what to say. I've always wanted to go from this place, driving from this place, because it's very difficult to see the dying people. In these people don't have any possibilities to save because they burning, you know.
Yeah. Alyona, allow me to thank you for your information for this week. We hope we can speak to you again next week in the third episode of the season 2 of Franky and Coen's Ukraine Inside. Thank you for now. Stay well, stay safe, and we hope to see you next week in the show again.
Thank you, guys. See you.
Bye-bye.
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 Because I would like to ask to Guido, what is the dangerous thing what you when you've been close to, because you maybe heard of Franky and Coen and this restaurant. This was horrible, of course, and Alyona, who are in very dangerous places. How is this for the little Kiev?
Me personally, it was a few times, but our guys are there, weekly. Weekly, yeah, because it's like sometimes I think they have fun in going there, because we think sometimes they take too many risks.
Yeah.
they grow in it. In the beginning, they went even behind the lines. They were growing it, so they sometimes I think from guys, that's not that necessary. Yeah, but for them it's a kind of proud that they can bring it to the as close as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, then it's statistics.
Yeah, it's for us also a little bit the same. We want to go also to villages or cities where just be freed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not always possible.
Yeah, no, of course, because Franky, you started on the border with Poland, and then more east.
Yeah, but for sure we're going to be more careful.
That's 100%.
We also learned a lesson, and we want to go east and we want to go near, but we will be more careful than before, because some things which we did, what we know now, they were a little bit over the edge. So we will be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, we maybe we can talk a little bit later, because I think now we can also speak with Rick the Ukraine. I hope he's already there.
Why are you fighting? We are fools. This is why we're fighting. How many died? So many.
Hello, Rick.
Hello, Rick.
Welcome in the show. Like every week, you give us an update from Kiev, and yeah, feel free to start with your update.
Hi guys, I'm happy to see you, and nice to meet you, Guido, if I'm telling your name right. Sorry, pronunciations sometimes are a problem.
No problem.
But yes, thank you for your support of Ukraine and for everything that you're doing with your organization. You guys are awesome. And we are actually happy to have all of these amazing volunteers helping us. And guys, I also wanted to thank everyone in the chat for coming, everyone who's watching us right now. You have a great show here, and we have a great viewer, so hi everyone.
Yeah, that's very nice of you, Rick. Can you tell about this first topic we want to talk about? Later on, we ask you for a statement of the week. We talk about this later. But first, I want to talk with you about the video you made about these Cuban soldiers.
Oh yeah, let's watch it. And I'll comment. So yeah, Ukrainian hackers hacked this Russian major. You see with his wife. They found it in his email. Also, but also they found the translations of Cuban citizens' passports. A civilian guy was helping to Russian, of course, to transcript them, to translate them. So these citizens, you see their passports. I've shortened the video. It was more informative, but yes, you see their passports. Russia has actually been recruiting them for some time and using them to fight against Ukraine. And it's 199 passports that were disclosed by this operation of hackers. So they, Cubans, they fight for Russia, and there are proofs, there are different documents, like the signed contracts with Russian military. And considering the fact that Cuban government is having its grip on their citizens, like, you know, they control them a lot, so we can consider it like Cuba is taking part in this war. It's like it's supplying Russia with its citizens. That's it, guys. You saw the names, Inform Napalm and, Cyber Resistance. These two organizations were behind it, and I want to thank them for this. And I wanted you to know about this operation.
Yeah, that's.
But I hear that I offered quite a lot of money to to
That
the
guy?
people to fight
Cubans.
here. Yes.
Yeah, Koen, I actually think that they don't have a big, payment. They don't have big salaries. Yes, that's the word. So it's easy to attract them to fight here. They offer them something like 5 times more that they earn there. I'm not sure how much they earn in Cuba, but I'm sure that Russians could offer a lot more. Like a few $1,000s will easily attract those people, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you had another video for us for today, and that's about a birthday, but a very special birthday.
Yeah, let's watch it. So, you guys probably all know who that is. It's General Kirill Budanov, who is the head of Ukrainian Directorate of Intelligence. He is behind most of the, most surprising operations and successful ones, like, for example, the one from the last week from Pskov. Remember when they were exploding those drones above the Russian military planes? Pretty awesome.
Yeah. And now they have a birthday because they existed for how many years?
I'm not sure that for 30 years or for 32 as we have our independence, but definitely, I guess for more than 20 years, I'm sure that military intelligence of Ukraine, actually don't know the exact number, but I assume something about 20 years. That's actually a bit of a shame on me that I don't know the date of their birthday.
No, you can know everything. That's no problem, Rick, because you know already a lot and you tell a lot in this show every week.
How important is this organization?
Yes.
They are at the very front. Our intelligence proved to be very successful in this war. They definitely go 1 or 2 steps ahead of Russians. They usually know everything that's happening in Russia even better than Russian government does. Fact talk for them. It's not just my words. You have seen some pretty awesome operations, like with Crimean Breach, for example. They work together with SBU, which is the security service of Ukraine. So they provide data, and they also make their own operations. And like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, you remember how Ukrainian soldiers landed somewhere on the beach in Crimea, and they took out, I'm not sure that it was a platoon, probably not. Something about, I forgot another word, but a group of Russians, like, for example, 20 soldiers, if I'm not mistaken, something about that. They took them out, they put the Ukrainian flag there on the beach, they made a video, you've seen that video probably, and this was impressive. And operations like this made by very, high professionals they are. And it is so impressive to see their work.
Yeah, information, of course, is always very important in a war. Yeah. That's also something we would like to discuss with you, and especially Franky. He's also now in the Ukraine. Franky, you want to discuss this topic with Rick about these people in Mariupol?
No, not only about Mariupol. It is more like this. Actually, I was having a discussion with somebody on Facebook, and he said that in Ukraine have just died such and such number of people, and it was very low. I don't know, 15 or 70,000, which is very much, and every life is important. But I said to him, well, no, there's more than 100,000 people killed for sure, maybe even 200,000, 300,000. Nobody knows, but a lot more. And then he said, where do you get your numbers? And then I have to say, I also got my numbers just from the internet. It's very difficult to know the exact numbers of how many people died in the Ukraine. Very difficult, very complicated. So I was firstly want to ask your opinion. What do you think how many people have really died in this war? And I mean civilian also.
Yeah, so we can talk about civilians, definitely, but those confirmed cases are only at the territories where, there are no Russians or they are deoccupied from Russians. That's the only way to see the real victims, to register them, to investigate. And Russians are not letting anyone know, international organizations, to any places of their control. The occupied territories they just don't have access there. And it's really hard to even imagine how many people. Of course, we can imagine, but it's impossible to count. Yeah, Franky.
The thing is that we have in the official numbers, that's only the numbers of people who are proven to be killed by Russia. So if people are still missing, they don't count them. If people have been died, but it's not 100% fact, proven fact that it's by a Russian bullet, they don't count it. If it's somewhere in the occupied territory, they don't count it. And I yesterday did my own little investigation. I'm in Lviv, and actually I thought, let's try to find some people who know a little bit more. So I went to a church from people from Mariupol. I spoke with the priest there. He gave me his opinion. He said, it's at least 100,000 people died. But I also made a little interview with a woman, an elderly woman who got from Mariupol to Lviv. Maybe we have a look at this video.
Меня зовут Янина.
Янина, а вы с Мариуполя?
Так.
А когда вы приехали с Мариуполя до где мы тут, Львов?
Я в Мариуполе провела в подвале всю войну. 2,5 месяца. В ледяном подвале. Ни света, ни воды, ни еды, ничего не было. Когда мой дом 9-этажный, и я на 8 этаже проживала. Когда я увидела с балкона, что горят дома, фосфорные бомбы плыли по небу шары и разбивались об дома. Дома плавились, стали падать стены, люди. И на моих глазах люди стали разбиваться об плиты. Детей горящие спины, за маму схватились за шею. Это было ужасно. Я схватила постель и бежала вниз, в подвал.
Как вы думаете, сколько людей умирали в Мариуполе? Как вы думаете, если вы должны сказать, сколько...
каждый день с нашего подвала, как я наблюдала, 3-4 выносили человека и на газон ставили. Вот это Ева, напротив Евы магазина, поставят на газон.
Вы думаете, люди умирали в Мариуполе с войны?
Умирали тысячами.
Сколько?
Тысячами умирали.
Тысяча?
Конечно. Нет, не 1000 одна, тысячами. Много.
Есть данные 100 тысяч есть.
Умерло
больше 100 тысяч.
Очень много умерло людей. С голода, с холода, от обстрелов. Вот, кушать варят, убивает возле костра. За водой пойдешь, стоишь в очереди, убивает возле там. Пока воды наберешь, значит, 5 раз у больничный подвал прячешься.
Если должен что-то, вы думаете, 5 тысяч, 10 тысяч, или как люди говорят, 100 тысяч, или как вы сам думаете? Там жили больше 4 тысяч людей до войны. Сколько вы думаете умирали?
Нас сколько жило? У нас почти было 600 тысяч.
Ну да, если это врать. 400 официально и 200 переселенцев тоже.
Примерно 600 тысяч людей там жили?
Погибло, я думаю, 100 нет, вы что?
Больше, да?
Конечно.
Больше 100
Сейчас
тысяч.
доказывают, что где-то уже до 300 тысяч людей погибло. До.
Yeah, I don't think that maybe 300,000 people died, but there's people in Mariupol. They interviewed in this church before, and everybody has people in their friends and family who've been lost in this war, killed. Civilians, and there's families who are only 1 or 2 people survived, and everybody there says that maybe half of the people even died. It's a lot, for sure. So I think one thing, Rick, I think we can for sure say that it's a much more people who have died than the official numbers.
Yeah, you're right, Franky. First of all, I want to say that it was really hard to listen to this woman and what she went through. And it's really painful, I must say, to imagine all of this that was happening in Mariupol. And it was the biggest genocide act here in Ukraine, because the population of this huge city was big. It was around 500,000, and considering that the destruction, you know, how many buildings were just latent, they stopped existing. It's easy to count that at least I would say 10 to 20% of population died, and 10% is 50,000. So it's actually, you know, there are two parts of Mariupol, the left bank and the right bank, as always. Left bank, I guess the one that Russians came into first, it didn't suffer that much. Some people were deported from there, some stayed, but if we even take the half of the city, it's around 250,000. I would say that at least a third of them definitely didn't survive because shelling was immense.
Extreme high number of people died. With this lady, we have an interview from over 26 minutes, and at some time we will place it on YouTube because it's terrible. Her story goes on and on and on. We will place it later on YouTube so people can see it. And people who are on YouTube, if you like our show, give a thumb up. And if you like to watch Rick, he has every Sunday evening a live show. It starts Ukrainian time at...
Your answer?
7:30 Ukrainian time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen. I need to.
Yeah, we need to
go on to the next. Only the last question, and please, Rick, only a yes or a no. Our statement of the week: children should decide themselves if they want to go back to the war zone in the Ukraine. Yes or no?
No, because they are children.
No, that is very good, Rick. We'll see you next week.
Yes, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Yes, then also very important for me to discuss with the people over here and of course with Franky. What are Franky and Coen going to do?
Now, I'm sitting here, and Franky is in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Franky.
Why are you there, Franky?
Why am there? Well, look at the video.
Yeah. Okay. But I know when you go there, you do a lot of things.
No. Actually, the basic. I'm here to change the oven in the trailer. So next time when we go here, we have the possibility to work well because the oven is was completely done. And I've been doing a few things more, like giving away sausages, and we store here some goods which we can give away in the winter. But actually, we have a small video of that, I think.
Oh, let's take a look at it.
Die gaan mee. Er zijn een hele hoop. Tik, 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 tik. Dat gaat zo direct mee.
Lekker onderweg naar Oekraïne en wij nu in het mooie Lviv, in het westen van Oekraïne. We zijn nu in een kerk in Mariupol, hier in Lviv. Mensen staan op te wachten voor onze worstjes die uit gaan delen. Ongelooflijk. Hoeveel mensen hier staan te wachten.
Икра черная, красная.
Скажите, пожалуйста, голландцам спасибо.
Голландцы очень любят нашу икру. Мы ж морской край. Просят икру.
Будь ласка.
Велике дякую від маріупольців за допомогу Голландії. Дякую вам.
So nice then to see these people, how grateful they are.
If you get a hug from them or some make a picture of you, they smile or just a little thumb up. And this feeling that you give the sausages away and you get a hug from somebody, then you have goosebumps all over your body.
Yes, I understand.
I see many buildings destroyed, and sorry to say that, but I feel this.
That's nice, but I always feel a bit ashamed on the moment we give things to the military, and the guys thank us. And I was like, guys, don't thank us. We thank you. Have the guy what you are doing. You're in danger. We're sitting often even at home, you know.
Yeah.
Franky, you want to say something?
No, I wanted to say Guido knows how it feels.
Sure no, you will be surprised, but not so well, because I'm very often from here. It's a lot of that work is done by other people. So I'm not that often on the front, on the place where it's really done. Of course, sometimes I am, and sometimes we did. But I was just told already to him that I don't feel that often. It's a bit of a shame because it's pleasant. Because it's pleasant. It's pleasant. Except when it goes to the military, then I feel ashamed. They thank me. I feel like a bit of shame.
But they thank you that you are there. It's not only the giving.
I know.
But you are there for them. You show.
Still, I'm still thankful for them. What they are doing, they're risking their lives. They're doing all kind of things, and then they thank me. Sorry, who I am. You know.
Yeah, but they don't see anybody, and then you come to a place like that.
It's very important for them to feel the support. What it is, it's very important for them to feel the support. The first times I came back in Ukraine, I saw all the old people back, you know, the concierge at the flat and all that. And they were so happy to see people coming back, because that was such a support for them. Yeah. Not what you came to bring or whatever. No, just the fact that people came back and that attention for them was already so important.
Yeah. You already said, Koen, a lot of thumbs up. Speaking about thumbs up, you can give your reaction on our YouTube channel, like Franky already also said. And speaking about our YouTube channel, Franky and Koen, what are the reactions of our statement of the week?
There are children are free to decide. Yeah, just 40%.
Okay.
But close to each other. No, only the war is over. It's 41%, and 45% said no. Just adults have to.
They have to decide. So the children cannot decide themselves.
I stand at the same point. That
What would you say about that?
No, I want to say I do understand it, but I think myself it's a very difficult one, and I think that a lot of people who have gave their opinion, I think some people were in doubt also, because for both sides is something to say. So I would also have a difficulty to pick the right choice.
Yeah. Now, once again here on the table. So what's your opinion, Franky? What's your yes or no? I need a yes or no. It's hard, I know.
Still a yes, I'm afraid.
Yes, I'm afraid. Rick says no.
I think it's a yes from my side.
Yeah, you have a yes. Rick has a no.
You think that children decide by themselves to go back yes or no?
I say it's with a lot of doubt, but if I say no, it means that you kind of keep it like a prisoner, because they are in a children's home. They do not have parents. So normally you decide for your children. I might decide for my children when my children are small, but
I agree.
I tell you, I'm in doubt. I have difficulty to choose.
So I fully agree. If I have to make a choice, it's a yes, but with a lot of doubts. Besides that, also the Ukrainian government wants people to come back. Yeah. Keep that in mind. Ukrainian government.
But they go back to a front line.
Front line to me is also a bit too far. But the principle that they can go back and should go back even maybe sometimes,
but then, if they go back, go at the west side. And not at the east side.
At least 30, 50, 60 kilometers from the front.
Yeah.
What can we say to the Russians then, when the Russians keep the children? There's a lot of children in Russian, we call it captivity, and they say we don't want to get to the war zone. Yeah. What can we say then if we say they can't make their own choice?
Maybe the result for tonight should be, as further from the war zone the more it is a yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
That's for sure.
Then about the war, I also want to say something about this. Of course, we are on the side of the Ukraine, and Ukraine inside. That's very logical. Of course, I think a lot of people in the world are on the side of the Ukraine, but we are fighting a tough enemy, and these are real professionals. Take a look at this.
За нас не за специально. Ты что делаешь? Что? А, не готова. Блядь, ты нормально, нет? Что ты смеешься, блядь? Не смешно. Стой, блядь! Блядь! Иди отсюда.
We would like to thank all the people who were in the show, and of course all the viewers at home. Thank you. Give us a reaction on our YouTube channel. Thank you, Guido van Engelen.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Iona. Thank you, Rick. Of course, thank you, Franky, all the way there in
We forget
Ukraine.
something. We forget something.
Oh yeah, don't forget.
Oh,
Don't forget
do something. Yes, that's true. The show is yours. Also, thank you, Koen, of course.
Thank you very much.
And we want to. Oh yes.
Wow, what's that?
Two things.
I don't know, or you can arrange it, but I took this from Ukraine last week. That's a clear message, I think, what they're looking for in Ukraine from the Netherlands.
That says F-16.
Yeah, they're really waiting for them. And of course, we think why they are not there already.
Yeah. But I hope they're already there, but yeah, who knows?
We have also something for you, Guido.
Our badge.
Your badge.
For every person when it's come in our show, and people we meet, military, we get a lot from them, and we give one back. And this one is.
I have one coat where it sticks on, so on that coat I should put it. Yeah.
Then I would thank all our viewers for watching us. Please watch us again next week, the second season, and then the third episode. Till next week.
Till next week.
Thank you, guys.